It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Another quick tag of AEW Dynamite. I know I've been MIA. I had a bunch of stuff this past weekend, busyness, and I know I didn't do Raw, NXT. I might just wrap up WWE in one weekly package. So I'm here. This is AEW week mainly because Full Gear Saturday and we're on the road, baby. And this definitely did some setting up for Full Gear. First out the gate, we have Blackpool Combats Club's Claudio and Danielson versus JAS's Jericho and Guevara. They're having a fatal four-way Saturday for the Ring of Honor World title. Tag team match here, I guess, to kind of establish some dominance. Ultimately, Claudio makes Jericho tap. Pretty decent tag team match. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing that was like, oh my God, fight forever type of thing. But it was a solid match, to get us ready for their fatal four-way Saturday. Then we had Anthony Bowens of Acclaim versus Swerve Strickland of Swerve in Our Glory. The Acclaim had a new music video. I want to say it was called Hand for a Hand. Yeah, this was called Hand for a Hand, which, basically, how Acclaim do their little music videos. Even Caster gave us little bars, too. He mentioned Jay Leno and his burns and everything, but the video was all right. Like, depending on how you feel about Acclaim and their little videos. Yeah. Billy Gunn, aka Daddy Ass, started to attack Swerve. So from that, they kicked Billy Gunn and Caster out. So it was strictly Swerve and Bowens. Swerve gets the W. He was kind of damaging Bowens's. That's correct. Bowens's. He was attacking Bowens' arm. Bowens's. To show possession, wouldn't it be Bowens's? Is it me? Maybe. But he was really attacking his arm, so we'll see what that plays for Saturday. We'll see if Bowens has damaged arm, this, that, and the third. So I think even Swerve posted on Instagram a hand for an arm or arm for a hand, something like that. So we had that. Samoa Joe came out there to talk and basically was saying he got tired of Wardlow ignoring him like he wasn't the most dangerous person in the room. Powerhouse comes out there and was like, hey, yo, Joe, I beat your ass too. Joe was like, knuckle up then, youngin'. Let's see if your hands are as good as your... That's not going to sound right. Let's see if your fighting skills is as good as your talking ability. I'll just say it like that because the way I was going to say it, big phrasing moment. So right when Joe and Hobbs was about to square off, Wardlow's music hit. He attacks Joe from behind. Hobbs gets in the ring. I know it's WWE, but it was big meaty men slapping meat. And then they had the locker room clear out to pull them apart. It was the most not believable pull apart because they had the Dark Order. They had like Butcher and Blade. They had some security. It wasn't the most believable pull apart because it was like, these are some big beefy boys here, and they could easily break through these dudes. And it even got to one point to where Wardlow was beating up the security, and Dark Order was like, nah, fam, you got it. We ain't even about to touch you no more, my G. And then Wardlow dives on everybody that was outside the ring. He dove on like 15 people. And that's how it ended. It didn't say if they was going to have a match at Full Gear. Maybe they might save their match for Final Battle, since Final Battle is December 10th. And they might I wonder if they're gonna do a triple threat, both titles on the line situation with that thing with Hobbs, Joe, and Wardlow. So I guess we'll see. Dr. Baker, DMD, she had a promo basically saying, Soraya, and I remember last time I made it a purpose to get the name right. Soraya, I'm sorry. She was basically saying, I understand where you come from and I understand your impact, but you didn't have to wrestle during COVID times. You didn't have to hold a company down when there was no audience when there was no audience out there. I held wrestling down. I held this stuff down while we was going through a whole pandemic out here, and I understand you was getting over your drug addiction and you was rehabbing, getting your neck better, but I was holding down wrestling. I was holding down this company. And basically, I'm going to show you why on Saturday I was holding down this company. So, yeah, we're going to get it. Soraya, Potato versus Dr. Baker, Saturday. Trios title match, Death Triangle versus Top Flight and AR Fox. AR Fox making his debut. Darius Martin is back from his injury that he had from his car accident. Pretty decent match. Unfortunately, it goes in that same boat with other title matches that happen on WWE TV or NXT or even AEW. We know there was not going to be a title change. So, Death Triangle retains, and, Pat grabs the mic and was like, look here. If anybody so-called feels they want these titles, who's been taking these little shots at us, they can meet us at Full Gear, fam. If you think you want this smoke, then a little Titantron, that is WWE. The little large screen, the large screen shows the little clock ticking. If you've been keeping up with AEW, the little clock ticking, it hits. They show the graphic of Death Triangle versus and appears the Elite. So we will get Death Triangle versus the Elite for the trios titles at Full Gear. And Pac was like, oh yeah, so now that we know it's y'all, we definitely want that smoke because we are Death Triangle. And then of course Penta, because we got Zero Miedo, or Zero Fear if you didn't know what that meant. Yeah. Translator. Next for the title eliminator tournament, we get Bandito versus All Ego Ethan Page. If you've been keeping up with this, we already know who they had a crash course for the finals. Ethan Page and most likely Ricky Starks. Page wins. I'm trying to remember, was there anything else after that? Did he speak other than just get the W? And I think with him beating Bandito, I think he's going on the finals. And I think he's waiting because Starks has to fight Archer, and then that winner is supposed to fight Cage. And I don't know when all this is supposed to go down, because I know Starks and Archer is Friday. So I don't know when Starks and Cage or Archer and Cage is supposed to happen to see who fights All Ego, because the finals is supposed to take place at Full Gear. That was a lot I just said. In the process of the show, Darby Allin had one of his cryptic little promos of him being in a body bag, being passed around, thrown around, and then he wound up being in a car. We find out the car was drove by Sting? Driven by Sting. Because, Saturday is supposed to be Sting and Darby versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Then, of course, that group had a little promo after they saw the vignette. It's going to be a brawl. Anna JAS versus Toni Storm. I don't remember if it was for the belt or for an eliminator, but Tony won. I mean, they're not gonna have Anna lose the. They're not gonna have Tony lose the belt before her collision course with Jamie Hayter on Saturday. After Tony retains, um, Jamie Hayter comes out there. They get in each other's face. They bumping into each other, pushing off each other. That's how that ends. Was there anything else before the main event segment? I think that was all the matches. Next up, Jade Cargill. Well, no, it wasn't Jade Cargill exactly. It was Nyla Rose. She had a promo basically saying she gonna beat Jade Cargill for real for the TBS title. Um, Main event segment because I can't remember if there's anything else. So forgive me if there was. Main event segment. Mox and Regal comes out. Mox was fumbling over his phrases a lot. Like he kept forgetting if the pay-per-view was Saturday or Sunday. It was a lot of fumbles. It was interesting, but it was a lot of fumbles. But basically, he was reiterating a lot of his points he had towards MJF that, he's a kid, he's this, he's that. Typical stuff Mox been saying about Maxwell. And then the firm comes out. They start to beat down Mox. MJF comes out. He saves Mox. Then he goes into a promo saying, hey, I didn't save you because, I'm trying to be friends with you. I saved you because I want you as close to 100% as possible. And, oh, Lord. And, sorry, something on TV that just took my attention, but craziness. Of course, MJF saying, about him being the devil, the greatest trick that I've ever played, was saying that, he wasn't real. This and the third, I don't say the typical stuff, but to get you riled up for that main event on Saturday. And then, it ends with them staring each other down, Moxley bumping into Maxwell, and then, boom, Dynamite. Dynamite before Full Gear. I'll be back, hopefully, to do a recap of Rampage before Full Gear. And then after that, of course, Saturday, Full Gear. And of course, we'll be bringing you a recap of what happened there. Will there be some title changes? Will there be some more surprises other than the Elite returning? We shall see, because we don't know. But I'm your boy Scootaloo. Thank you for joining. Shouts out to Dizzle. Shouts out to Jaeger. Shouts out to Juggs. And, until next time, T.A.G out.